Breath of the Wild will turn 4 years old this year, and I, as a major fan of the game, wonder where all that time went. The game is a masterpiece. In these 4 years, none of the game feels out of date. Playing the game feels like a breath of fresh air. In the game's calmest moments, though, I feel is where the game's true greatness arises. Standing dormant in a village at any given moment will give you rich musical tranquility. I put on these tracks while I work on animation, art, and even writing the script. The game's strong sense of musical tone makes me love the world of Zelda even more. Through the lens of the player, I will take a look at 3 songs I think really sell the appeal of this game's music the most. Number 1. Rito Village. This town is the town of Rivali. His character is one of someone desperate for greatness. Although he finds success as the pilot of the Divine V Spa Meadow, he could never really feel content with his achievements. He sugarcoats his emotions through his cocky persona. He acts as though he is better than Link, not only because of his own battle inside him about his power, but also out of jealousy that Link has achieved more than him. He is, in essence, a bully. He downplays the achievements of others solely to make himself feel better about himself. Now listen to the Rito Village theme. If you have played Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker, you may also hear the Dragon Roost Island theme within the song. This interesting slowdown of the Dragon Roost Island theme, on a surface level, is meant to make the player remember that Dragon Roost Island is an island of Rito. But on a deeper level, I imagine a thematic reasoning, revolving the character of Prince Komali being a direct comparison to Rivali. The character of Prince Komali is one of a shy boy, with very little passion. As a result of his bashfulness, he is always staying with his grandmother. After her passing and the rampage of Lord Valu, he shuts himself off from the world. When Link first meets Prince Komali, the prince shows rejection for Link's comfort. After calming Valu, we see a shift from Komali as he gets his scales. The insecurities he once had now gone because of his confidence in himself. Prince Komali, in many ways, is a very similar character to the image of Rivali. One of the only differences between them being that when met with insecurities, Rivali tried to hide them while Komali learned to embrace them. So how is this embedded into the Rito Village theme? The theme itself goes through its ups and downs. Listen to this. The way it builds itself up and then lowers its tone down into a somewhat dreary melody is reminiscent of a sad harmonica track motif. This may very well be in reference to how Rivali himself makes himself feel lesser due to his incredibly high standards for himself. He is saddened by the thought that no matter how far he climbs, there will always be someone ahead of him. This way of thinking is bound to make anyone fall into a state of depression, but the answer to this is to stay in your own lane. Before you look at what others are doing, you must first know yourself. In a quote from The Art of War, Sun Tzu says, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle." By this way of thinking, the character of Rivali is fundamentally flawed. Rivali's pride makes it impossible for him to see his shortcomings. The song itself has many intervals of flute music, which to me, as a listener, reminds me of the process of thought. As ideas come in and out of the mind, so do the melodies. It is only through writing that you can truly examine the contents of your character, which may signify that there is still hope for Rivali in Breath of the Wild 2. The second melody, the Temple of Time. The Temple of Time is one of the most iconic buildings in Zelda, and in Breath of the Wild, it is one of the first things you see in the game. The song itself, though it cannot be traced back to one singular person, its meaning may very well be in the passage of time itself. Its first appearance was in Ocarina of Time, and the temple's theme is a slowed-down rendition of the Song of Time. The reason for this slowdown on a surface level could quite possibly be to show how the world has changed into an awful place after Calamity Ganon. The temple, a once spiritual place, now run down and ransacked by evil. But the Temple of Time could also be used as a symbol for how we must all grow up. The game the song originates from, Ocarina of Time, has themes relating to growing up. Zelda Ocarina of Time starts off with a young boy named Link. He is tasked with collecting 3 spiritual stones so he can go to the Sacred Realm and get the Triforce before Ganon. He does this, but it doesn't go his way. Sadly, he was already too late, and Ganon had already gotten the Triforce. And then, 7 years pass. Link walks back out of the Temple of Time, and the world is ruined. Everything that he once loved is now in despair, all because of his actions. In a similar way, King Rome may feel the same way. As a spirit, King Rome sat and watched as Hyrule was destroyed. Both the game and the theme embody these principles. As Calamity Ganon destroyed the Order of Hyrule, the temple is also destroyed. It seems as though the real enemy in every tale is time. The melody of this song has slowed down because the world itself has begun to slow down. As humanity's marks on Hyrule are erased by Calamity Ganon, nature has started to regain control of Hyrule. The slowed down melody of the Song of Time is the last shown signs of humanity on Hyrule, an echo of what there once was. This theme, in essence, could be compared to plants growing after a fire, or even, on a much bigger level, Thanos' snap at the end of Infinity War. A melody of prosper after chaos. The song sets a somber and comforting tone that says to me, it is okay, there is peace. These themes of acceptance can also be linked back to growing up, and accepting the consequences of your actions. This song provides another piece of the puzzle as to why Breath of the Wild music is so good. The storytelling and the music complement each other excellently. This theme specifically reminds me of many of the music tracks in Minecraft. This type of atmospheric music calls for the viewer to calm down and take in your surroundings and breathe a breath of the wild. Number 3. Guardian Battles. The Guardians are interesting creatures. Designed by a group of ancient, technologically advanced civilization known as the Sheikah created many relics and powerful tools. Their goal as a civilization was to protect Hyrule from the evil of Ganon. They built the Guardians as a means to protect against Ganon and save Hyrule. After building these weapons, they were banished by the very people they were protecting. No one knows where they went. Some say they formed the evil Yiga clan, and others believe they traveled far away. The Sheikah's influence can still be seen in the world of Breath of the Wild. The people of Hylia, although they did not know, had made a big mistake banishing the Sheikah. When Calamity Ganon arrives, he takes control of the Guardians along with many other pieces of Sheikah technology. Using this, he conquers Hyrule. This theme of man versus technology is something very close to reality. The addiction of many to social media may very well lead to the destruction of mankind by the very thing we created. As an organism, we are doomed to be overtaken eventually by a higher being than our own. Technology is a Trojan horse for many of this. Keeping people addicted with never-ending entertainment, the idea that the problem humanity will soon face is stronger than them is something horrifying. And the theme embodies this perfectly. The theme starts off with a high-pitched piano trill. It shows a clear danger. It then goes into a lower, high-speed rhythm and a violin that maintains the high notes. This theme is good at conveying a sense of insurmountable defeat. The theme also plays sometimes alongside this sound. This sound effect reminds me of a metronome, but metronomes don't speed up. This type of sound adds to the feel of a song, making a Guardian look like an unbeatable foreign threat. The great part about this song, though, is how whenever I hear it after playing Breath of the Wild, I get scared. It has become a leitmotif for Guardians, and everything that comes with them. And by the looks of it, I'm not the only one. Take a look at this meme by Key and Enter.
I said I'm not afraid anymore! Do you hear me? I'm not afraid anymore!
As you can see, many people feel this way. The Guardians are an evil that even after you beat Ganon still scare you, and their theme conveys a sense of fear and overpowering strength. This theme not only is scary, but itself represents the fear that humanity will one day succumb to the jaws of technology. All in all, these three themes, albeit vastly different, make up some of the reasons why I like Breath of the Wild's music. Thank you for watching, and happy January.